Hi guys, I'm going to talk you about instincts in the human being. This is necessary to understand why the women and the men of our current day act as they act. Probably with Henry's sex wars that we have around in the last 50 years. You have found that the things has changed very much. That nowadays is the worst of all times for being a man, because you're just by being a man you're being hated by everyone. And probably the explanation that you hear constantly, it's because there is some elite that use the institution, especially the financial ones, to push an agenda. That agenda is meant to lower the population in the world. It's meant to reduce the population across the world, and the feminism is the best ideology that reduces the percentage of the population in whatever is being spread around. And there are investigations about that. If you want to lower the population of some place, you need to introduce feminism. And if you think about it, the women start to kill their own babies in a stunning rate. So, but it doesn't just stop in that. It really destroyed the relationships that can be made between men and women. So probably you have heard that, and it's not that that is itself is not true. It's kinda true. It's almost all that explain what is happening right now, but it's not all that is explaining this. Those elites can have success if they don't appeal to the human instincts. You have to know how is the behavior in the men and how is the behavior by default, the default one, the instinct one, in the man and the woman, in order to understand why this is happening, why this is the actual situation, what have they used against the population, against the humanity. So, sorry, this is not my main language, but I'm trying to practice English in order to work on remotely on some international companies. Maybe I will have exit, maybe I will not have success, maybe I will not have success. Sorry, in Spanish, éxito means success, and exit sounds alike, so that's why I sometimes mistook one word for another. But don't take it don't buy ahead. Don't take it in mind. Anyway, what I'm going about to explain you, probably in the manosphere has been told you before, but they doesn't have a background of development on a theory about human behavior. I'm a psychologist, and besides that, furthermore, I had developed a very solid theory on how the human behavior works, and I had based that on the starting with the instincts, with the human needs and the instincts that has been developed with human need as a core. So I will try to explain you. If you can't understand me because I'm speaking wrong, please write a comment on the comment section. I will try to respond to you as soon as possible. But I really think this is necessary for the world. If I do this video on Spanish, it will reach my audience on Latin America. It will reach my audience, but it will reach very few people. But this knowledge it's needed in the world. It should mean to be spread in other language for other people. For example, if some Indian guy needs to hear this, then if I speak in English, that will help him. But if I don't speak in this language, then he never going to understand Spanish. So sorry guys. And that's the same for you, especially if you live in the USA, because the people in the USA doesn't want to learn Spanish. And any language that are not theirs. So sorry guys, but you have to keep it up with my bad English. Anyway, I'm going to start talking about the instincts, but take in mind, what I'm going to tell you is a custom to it and I made by myself. It's not something that you are going to find in the box. I made this because the theories that already are in the world really don't integrate what the instincts are with the human behavior in a psychologist perspective. As they are not integrated, they fall into the trick of the constructivism that tell you that it is the thought that create the behavior. But they are not really referring to the process, the cognitive process that creates the thought. They only are telling you, the people, most psychologists in the world are going to tell you, is the final product of the cognitive processment, the thought, codified, the one that dictates the behavior, and that's not it. The behavior has been developed for millions of years of development, not only by our own species, but the ones before our species, the other species that were here before us, our ancestor species. They had been developed their instincts, and we only had that heritage from millions of years of development before our time. So why what an instinct? Why an instinct surge? What it is created. We living creatures have needs. We need, for example, food. We need, for example, rest. We need, for example, water or any other substance in order to maintain and recreate ourselves. there are some behavior that the organism can have that works on their environment much better than any other behaviors, and for that the organisms that tends to have that behavior tend to live longer because it's adaptive behavior. It works more on that environment, and they are the ones that are going to reproduce and pass their genes to the newer generations. For some reason, the offsprings have some affinity with that behavior. Until we do that, then they are not the ones that are going to survive in a bigger proportion compared with the other members of that species. So, for that reason, the behavior is gonna be present from one generation to another because it helps the individuals that have it to survive and thrive. So, with the pass of time, little by little, there's going to be a more and more created tendency across the generation to behave like that. The old generations doesn't have an instinct to behave like that, but that behavior works on that environment. So across the generations, one and another and another and another, there will be had to be behaving in the same way one time and one other. Sorry, each generation, and each time it's gonna be more frequently. At some point, that will become an instinct. What is an instinct? It's a tendency of that behavior that leads to the satisfaction of the need. That behavior. And that tendency comes with a feeling of pain that trigger the tendency. The need generates the pain. The pain generates the tendency. The tendency is the one that has the behavior. Then the behavior, when it leads to the satisfaction of the need, immediately it generates a pleasure. 10. First, start the pain. 10. It's started tendency. The behavior is somewhat driven to be in some way. 10. After the satisfaction of the need, it generates pleasure. And that circuit is the instinct. The instinct, you don't have to learn anything from the parents. You don't have to learn anything from the peers, from anyone. The tendency just arises because it's coded in your genes. Under certain circumstances, the tendency is triggered, but the trigger is the pain of the need, not satisfied need. Do you know what I mean? That pain have a specific feeling when that has become an instinct. For example, the hunger is a very specific feeling that is very different to the other feelings that has pain. But precisely the hunger triggers the behavior that will conduct you to search, find, and eat food in order to appease your hunger, your pain. And when you eat, that will lead to feel pleasure inside you. That's why. Even if we don't have a code, the specific way on how to find the food, we are driven by our instinct to find food. And that is the instinct. It has a specific feeling. It has that feeling is of pain. It drives you to find something that will satisfy the need, and it creates pleasure when you satisfy the need, when you find that thing that you needed. Okay? Sorry for being redundant, but I have to make this clear, and you know that I'm not know how to express me well on English. Okay, the instinct is the very basic of the behavior on the living beings. Everything works on instinct on a basic level. Maybe the cells doesn't have instincts, but I'm not very sure. At least in the complex organism as ourselves, we really do have instincts. We really do have instincts. So, sorry guys, I was interrupted, but that is the very basic of the behavior. When we have that, the next step on the complexity, because the behavior is very complex, the human behavior becomes extremely complex at the point we have now as a humans. The species before use doesn't have thought, doesn't have, if you go way back, they even don't have emotions. But the species before us really do have emotions. Even the reptiles have emotions in some degree. So, if we go way back before even we had been monkeys, even way before that, there was some point in time that the species of the time doesn't have, or that specific species that we come from have not emotions. That was developed furthermore on the newer species. Why in other species further in time. It was further in time. At some point, with some species developed emotions. And what is an emotion? Emotion is some way, how to say it, it's pretty similar to the instincts, because you don't need to learn, but it's a specialization of the instincts. That's what I was trying to tell you, to say. The emotions are a specialization of the instincts. It really doesn't follow the driving behavior that the instincts have. No, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have the same driving and tell you to behave in some way. Doesn't have that. But it really have some driving behaviors in other ways. For example, if you have fears because in a situation you as a living organism are experiencing danger, there is something dangerous on the environment. If you have fear, that fear is comes with a very specific set of tendencies of behavior. For example, it can lead you to flee. It can lead you to avoid the source of the fear. It can lead you to paralyze yourself in order to not be detected with the source of the fear. It can lead you even to hide yourself. Then, if you do that behavior only, if you are you have that tendency to do that 4 kind of behaviors only because you have pain, that will becomes more useful to you as a living being, because it will lead you to prepare and behave properly in the face of danger, in the face of a predator. And that is an adaptive advantage for you as a species, for your species, and you as an individual. For you and your species, that's the correct way to say it. So, the basic emotions have those tendencies. The positive emotions and the negative emotions. Not only the fear, that is a basic negative emotion. Not only the anger, that is a basic negative emotion. Not only the sadness, that is a basic negative emotion, but also the positive ones, as the happiness, as the tranquility, even as the surprise. Those have their own tendencies of behavior, and the behavior in all of those tendencies is more specialized on more complex circumstances. It's, if you think about it, it's way more complex, and it leads you adapt way more deeply than just the instincts. The instincts just urge you to find what you need, and only and in the short in short place, in short is in short time, in short span of time. Sorry, it was in short span of time. But the emotions it has a more bigger span of time. For example, you can know that there is a predator near you. You can hear the howl of the wolf, and you know that there is danger, but you have hungry. You are a rabbit and have hungry. Right now your need is, I need to eat something to feel good, because if not I feel hunger and I feel bad. If you were a pretty dumb bunny, you will follow your hunger, and go to search food. But if you had heard the howl of the wolf, then you maybe prioritize that emotion, the fear, and just get paralyzed or go to find some refugee somewhere, or just hide, or just evitate the place the sound comes from, and that by itself will help you allow to survive. The same with all the emotions. The same with all the basic emotions. Then, when the emotion is created, it becomes a need by itself. The need to face the situation that is programmed genetically to arise you some behavior, emotion, some tendencies that are enclosed, caged by the emotion by itself. By the emotion itself, sorry. It's not the same one set of tendencies from one emotion that the tendencies for other emotion. That's what I mean for other emotion. They are different. In the case of anger, you fight back to the source of danger that created the anger. You fight back, or you just feel hostile without expressing it. You can just adopt a posture, no, I don't know how to say the word is, that you inspire fear into others, that you will be aggressive. You put in a posture that tells the other that you are going to fight, but you are not fighting. That is being hostile to others. Your body prepare for the activity of fighting. If you feel anger and you transmit to others that you will fight back, or you will hurt them because you are feeling anger. Okay. And after the emotions later in time by other species, the intellectual ones, our ancestors, I don't know how many ancestors on our species, the Neanderthals, and before that, maybe 1, 2, 3 species before, but they started to develop the thinking, the thought, not the thought that we have as a human, but a very basic, very basic thought, the one that can have the monkeys, that can have the crows, that can have the dogs, the rats. I'm sorry, I was exaggerating, not the rats, the monkey. The rats have something like thought, but not as developed as what I'm trying to say. That at some point in time, the thought was developed, and the thought can lead to interact with the environment and adapt in real time. Furthermore than emotions, it can specialize not in a set of specific circumstances, very wide in like in emotions, but it goes furthermore than emotions, and the thinking can lead you to adapt to a very complex circumstances. For example, the crows can find a way how to use tools, branches that they use as tools in order to get food. They can learn patterns and use those patterns to find food, to earn food. Do you know what I mean? The thought is a very specialized way, behavior to adapt to the environment, especially the ever-changing ones that the complexity of life has. The constructivism, the way they understand how the mind works, and I'm not referring to the original authors. I'm referring to average, everyday psychologists. They really do think that is the last part of the process of the behavior, the thought codified, the want that direct the behavior. But no, that's an inverse order of factors. I'm sorry, I had said something dumb. No, it's not an inverse order of factors. It's an inverse order of events. If I say factors, then someone on the audience that is not very smart will say, the factors, if you multiply them, they lead to the same result, so it doesn't matter. I'm not dumb idiot. No, that's not what I mean. It's the order of the events is inverted in their explanation. It's right to say that even in the instinct, there's some processment of the information around you. And we can call that cognitive process. If you say that there exists a cognitive process before the behavior, yes, that's right. But if you confuse that and mistake that with the codified thought, then you are really screwing up things. You are not understanding anything. You are not taking into consideration the emotions, and you are not taking into consideration the instincts. The thought doesn't have any force to change your behavior if that contradicts the emotions. And the emotion doesn't have a way to change, to direct your behavior if that contradicts the instinct. Okay, it's not really like that. It's not that it doesn't have a way. It really there are really ways to do that, but it's not natural. The natural way is that the instinct have authority over the emotions, and the emotions have authority over the thoughts. The main driving force is the need, the pain of the need, and the pleasure of the satisfaction of the need. Those two things. Need, the pain, and the pleasure of the need. That's all. That directs everything into behavior. Everything. And the instincts have their set of tendencies of behavior. The thing is, we live in a very destroyed society because we really are letting that our instincts control our behavior. And you will ask me, hey, wait a minute, you have just said that naturally the instincts have authority and control over emotions and thoughts. So why are you telling me that the actual situation is explained just by letting us be controlled by our instincts? Why are you telling me that? It's because, okay, the network of the sections, for say it in one way, of the sections of the mind, that is the cognitive process and the thought. Now, I was referring to the intellectual part. Was the last one and doesn't have that strong force, but it can lead us to the learning by the teachings from others, as it is a very specified behavior that let us adapt in real time a very complex circumstances. The education can, over a lot of time of education, can teach us how to not hear and respond and being driven immediately by our emotions and instincts. We need education in order to have some control of ourselves. It's not absolute. Maybe it's even being instaurated in us by pain. But it helps us a lot to control ourselves. We need that. And the feminists and the progressivism, everything that the elites are doing right now, that thing is telling us, especially women, and and crazy people that are very destroyed in her minds. Their minds are destroyed. The trastornated ones, I'm not sure if that's really a word in English, but it's the perturbed ones. Trastornated. I think, I guess that is a real word. If not, just leave a comment on the comment section. So, they are telling to that people to do not buy a heed to the education and the moral that we have has been developed over millennials of years in order to get a more civilized society. They are telling you have to be controlled by your instincts. That is liberation. But that is not liberation. That's condemnation. Condemnation is doom. It doomed you to destroy everything around you and yourself. Because that behavior, the one that is controlled by our instincts and emotion, is not adaptive to complex circumstances. That's the big problem of this all. That by itself is a very big problem. So, they are destroying you in that way, making us not being adapted to the circumstances complex that a society has. And there's something that is at the same level for not at the same level, is more developed way, structure, component of the behavior that is pretty similar to the instincts that can screw it all. Is a more complex relation between the needs and the behavior that leads to the satisfaction of the needs. I'm not referring to the emotions. I'm referring to the desires. What is a fucking desire? A desire is a way to cover a real need, and that thing that covers the real need tells you how to behave in other ways that are accepted by the environment, and that have been educated in order to you satisfy your need. As we live in a complex society, some things are not accepted, some things are fomented, are accepted by the group. So, the things that are not accepted, it could cause pretty bad consequences. The people can reject you. And why back in the cavern era, that means death. So, that's why we developed some system, the desire system, that covers and took the place as, for example, Among Us, that it took the place of the real necessity. It's not that the necessity, the real one, has been disappeared. No, that's not the case. It just has been covered and has been hidden by the need, by the desire, and the desire take its place. You can think that you really need what your desire tells you. For example, you can think that you really need the most beautiful wife in the history of the world to be happy, to not feel pain in your life. But where that pain comes from? If you really find the best wife in the world, the most beautiful woman in the world, and that woman marry you and stays with you, you're going to destroy that woman, that very woman. Why? Because you are not prepared to treat well that woman. You only wanted her because you decided that she is a means to appease your pain. And that pain is appeased because it led you the satisfaction of the desire. It led you to satisfy a very little, teeny bit of the real need. In this case, probably it's that your fathers, when you were young, let you alone, let you be raised by the television and the social media. They never hug you. They never tell you that they love you. They abandon you. Let you alone in your life. And just throw money in your face and tell you, I'm the best father, I'm the best mother in the world. But never give you the human warmth that you need. They never cherished you and treat you as a family. And that's true, you real need. You really are in need of that. There's a word, but I'm not pretty sure what is. But do you know what I mean? It's not really love, but okay, let's say it love. They haven't loved you, haven't make you feel loved, and you need that. That's a real need, and have their own instinct. If you satisfy that by a desire, by a desire, it only will satisfy a very little proportion of that, and the pain will fade a little by a very little span of time, and later will you feel the full wound of the enormous pain that the real not satisfied need that you have, the social one, the love one. Love of your parents, not of that girl, not of that woman. And if you have a mentality of, I'm in pain, I need something that alleviates my pain, then the other people becomes a tool. And that is what is happening to every woman in the world. They are fucked in the mind by this society, progressive. This is shit that comes from USA and first world countries that tell you that you have to be driven, to be controlled by your own instincts in order to be free and happy. tell you that. The contrary is what is happening. And you are not adapting well to the circumstance of the life, to the society. You are only not satisfying really your real needs. And there is another concept that I have to tell you in order to understand this, why the people is behaving that they are behaving. And that is I don't like to use the word because Freud used it, but I have to use it because if not, you will not understand and it will not explain me well. So I have to use that word. But you have a trauma. Everyone in this society has a trauma. What is a trauma? Trauma is a complex behavior or maybe system in where there's something that causes pain a lot or in intensity or a very low intensity, but that it lasts longer a very long time and accumulated across time. With that amount of pain, large amount of quantity of one instance, that something really created a very intense pain or a very long pain that has been increasing across the time, a very long time, that will lead you to trigger as a system, I don't know how to say it, a capacity to have the mind to ignore the pain that you're experiencing in order to behave normal and adapt more well to the environment. For example, if you are a bunny and you have injured your leg and there comes a predator, you have to run as fuck. You have to run as fuck, as hell. The most quickly you can. But if the pain of running of your injury lags you, slows you, then you are going to be killed by the wolf. Then the evolution creates something that lets you do not feel pain. That lets you not feel pain even if you are still injured. And that is the pain is blocked in your mind. The mind stops perceiving the pain. And just because you have stopped perceive the pain, you can run as fuck with all your might. Then, if that happens with your injury, the injury has not disappeared. Even if you, for example, you punch one of if you mistake you are using a hammer and hit by mistake your finger, the finger is going to pain a lot, to pain a very lot for a few seconds, and then it will start to fade the sensation of pain. But The injury is still there. There has not changed anything in a very few seconds, but the intensity of pain has been reduced. That very same capacity of the mind is what is used in the block of pain. And what happened in the traumas? In the trauma, the mind used that in order to block the pain sensation of the extreme pain that you are experiencing in the traumatic situation, or the pain, constant pain, that even if it is not very high, the intensity of that pain, it will block that because it has been around a very long time. And furthermore, I have to add, if you do not satisfy a real need, it will create the pain to driving you to satisfy the need. But it will increase the pain the longer you have not satisfied the need. Then it will increment the pain doses that will going to deliver you, to rape you, to drive you to satisfy the need. Then the mind has to stop that pain in some way, and that is blocking it. It blocks your pain too, and that is why when you have trauma, you stop to perceive the pain. The pain has not disappeared. It's in here. It's in there, sorry. The pain is there, but it has not disappeared. It keeps sending signals, multitude of signals, in huge amount, with a very high intensity to your brain all the fucking time. But in order to let you live your life, to let you adapt somewhat to the environment, in order to not affect you that much, you simply just don't feel the pain, but you have it. You don't feel the pain in the part of your body, in the nerves that were involved in the traumatic experience, in the emotions and sensations that you have at that time, or across all the very long time that the pain was increasing little by little, or that lasted all that time. It will block the access to that part of your body, to those nerves, and you will stop feeling something on those parts of your nerves. That's why the most focused people in the head, in the mind, simply don't feel anything. But it's not because really they are incapable of feel something, as the psychoanalyst says, and psychiatric says. That's a stupidity that is not true. It's because their mind is so fucking blocked that they don't feel anything. But the pain is at max in their minds. The feel of the pain, this pain signals that reach the brain is fucking amazing. It's a top of the top. of what their mind can resist, can withstand. They are in a very extreme situation. Their pain is awesome. So with that pain blocked, their memory blocks that segment of time. Also, not only the body, not only the nerves, that segment of the memory is blocked in the trauma. So imagine this. You are experiencing extremely quantity awesome of pain. But you say to other people that you are fine, that you are feeling well. That's because you are not aware of the extreme quantity of pain that you have. If you put your consciousness, focus on your own body, in the parts that are blocked, that don't feel anything, if you sustain the focus and try to feel that very nerves, if you last some few minutes, you are going to start to become crazy. You are going to feel a very extreme desperation and pain. If you maintain the focus on those nerves, you really is going to feel as if there's something shredding on your nerves in that place. A very extreme and excruciating pain that it will lead you to a really mental crisis, a really extreme mental crisis. And after that, if you keep maintaining the focus on those nerves that are involved on that trauma, it's going to start to flow the memories that created the trauma. And the pain will be extreme as fuck, as it can be. But let me tell you something. In those situations that creates that trauma, there is a need created. The need, for example, if there's something that is created the pain that is harming you, and you have an excruciating pain for that damage that something made to you, that something harmed you, then the necessity of feel safe, or feel secure, or feel rescued, it's created. If you experience that in your meditation, if you create that very same sensation that you have in that extreme event that created the block, the trauma, you will alleviate and superate the trauma. You will overcome the trauma. Sorry, that was what I was mean. You will overcome the trauma and it will be no more. And the same that with the traumas that comes from not satisfying, for not being, for you had not satisfied a necessity, a real necessity by a very long time. If you find that real need and satisfy that need, you will overcome the pain. And let me tell you something. A not satisfied need, a constant pain that creates a trauma, it's equal to potent as one trauma that has been created by extreme situation of danger and harm. It's the same. It's not different. You can be as equal fucked in the mind by some rape as being raped. The same as if you never has been has feel human warmth, feel loved by other people. If you never received that in your when you were young, your mind is going to be screwed. It's going to fuck up. You will lose a turn. I'm sorry, I forgot what is the word. But you will become mad. You will screw loose. Lose a screw. That was the real phrase. You will lose a screw. And you will be equal devastated as someone that has been raped at young age one time. You can be equal even if you never has equal damage, even if you have never been damaged by that extremely or be harmed by other people, just because you don't have satisfied your need. At least the important ones. Let me tell you something else. The sexual need is not that important. It's not that core, and it doesn't generate that much pain. The real issue is that you can transform or use a real need as the sexual one as a desire. You can convert a real need into a desire to satisfy another real and more important need. This is what is happening to the people in general in our society. The people has been told by social media, by our culture, that they will be happy just fucking with everything, with everyone. How they feel in the moment, just fuck. That's what they had been told. Everyone has been told. But, and that they doesn't have the right to do that only if they follow some set of circumstances, set of behaviors that are well accepted by the society. Only that they have the permission to let them satisfy their need sexually. The need of love sexually, and they call that love, but that is not love. It doesn't have anything to do with the love. It's only sexual desire, sexual need. But they use the sexual need as a desire for the real love need. And the love need is only satisfied a very teeny bit by the sexual behavior. And they will never satisfy the love need, because the sexual is not the way. The sexual behavior is not the way to satisfy that need. And that will make them do more and more of the desire, get more and more of that desire without limits, and they will become a degenerates that do everything with everyone. The most screwy things that had more intense feelings, because over time their mind adapt. The mind incorporates the new sexual degenerate behavior, and their mind will screw more, and the pain of not being loved will increase more and more and more, because the mind has not really fully satisfied that demand, that need of love. It only helps them to lower the pain a little and gain some time. But with that some time that they do not do anything but satisfy every desire, sexual desire, their mind will increase in pain, and that will fuck their mind even more. And no, that satisfaction, those degenerated behavior, are required, because if their mind do not have those, their mind will break, because it cannot withstand the quantity of pain that the brain are receiving every single day. They let their mind to screw more, to increase in pain, and not satisfied to real need. That's why those degenerates in our actual society are completely loony. The pain are controlling them to do everything they can, to use everything they can as a tool to appease their own pain, even a little bit. That's why they don't have mind to take into consideration other people. For them, other people does not exist. Why? Not because they really are bad by nature person. It's not that. It's not that. It's because one person that is traumatized, that has an active pain that is generating tons of signals of pain and sent that to the brain. A person with that, their mind only can focus on alleviating the pain. That's a characteristic of the pain. That was it made for. The pain, it was made for to ensure that you will behave and attend the thing that is creating the pain, in order to let you survive. That is a characteristic of the pain, and it's natural. You will interpret everything around your pain if you have pain. especially this one that is cruciating as the one that are in the traumas of the people. You will interpret everything around that trauma, and that is what it happened to some people, that the psychiatric tell them that they are deluding, that they are wrong in the mind, that they are schizos, but they don't fucking understand that the pain creates that. It's not that they are hallucinating. They are only deluding. But why the delude comes? Because the pain does that naturally. You fucking shit. What happened to you? You fucking don't understand that. Even the most basic things about the human mind. Those are the scums that are leading our professions. Those that don't understand and don't question anything. Okay, I feel anger for that because I know how much damage they have done to the people. I will continue to do around the years that will come. Okay, sorry for that, but the pain do that. It concentrates, it focuses your mind only in the pain, and you don't have mind for everything else. And for that reason, you don't have mind, space in your mind for your partner, for your offsprings, for your family. You don't have any space in your mind because the pain is taking it out, especially excruciating pain as the one in the traumas. Now do you understand why is the situation? Why is the actual situation? The feminism, what it has done to destroy the women is tell them that they will be empoderated, and they will be empowered. Sorry, the correct word was empowered. They will be empowered by letting them being controlled by their instincts. But by doing that, they will destroy their own lives and the lives of everyone that grows among them. Because in this fucking society that the culture destroy your mind and tell you the only way to alleviate everything is being accepted by the society. And I'm by the sex and earn the merit to have sex. That's all. In this script society, they will develop traumas. Everyone has traumas in this society. And they will never satisfy those traumas. The pain, the instincts, and the desires that they created will control them, will control everyone, but especially the woman. The woman by nature are more susceptible and have instincts, more complex ones, but have instincts to comply and follow the will of the group, to not develop responsibility. They are like children. They never overcome puberty. They are made in that way. They can overcome the poverty, yes, but that will require a very very personal and very intense and constant mind development, personal mind development. They will need to do that consciously by themselves, or have a very extremely well family that educate them in the right way. That's what we had before, or family that had morals, that had religion. Even if you are an atheist that hates religion, the religion has embedded the moral, because they ask the question, what is the best way to behave in society? What brings benefit for me and for those around me, especially the Christianity? And that's why they have the best answer for that, because over 2,000 of years, people took those questions and tried to answer them once and again and again and again, reading the previous ones. It developed a very high philosophy, if I have to say that, about how to behave better. What is the best way of life? And that is a very fucking value. I really hate a lot the fucking atheists that do not respect Christianity, because they are the ones that started to fucking destroy the society. They are the ones responsible to sorry, the word is sembrate. No, they are the ones to sow the seed, and it's not so, but they planted the seed. They planted the seed of going against the moral, because they hate the Christianity and don't fucking take into account the need of the morality, and the why that the Christianity has a very high developed morality, a very well one, with a very high developed values. The best way of life, helping others and helping yourself, to make happy everyone and yourself, and how to behave according at those set of values. That is the morality, and that was helping everyone to not be driven, enslaved by their own instincts. And that's explaining everything. What is happening in the society? Yes, there are some elites that are telling us, using every single media and tool that they have at their disposition, to screw us out and tell us that we have to be controlled by our own instincts, that we have to be enslaved by our own instincts, and that is a liberation. That is a satanic scum shit that they made in order to lower the human being into a simple being, an animal. it degraded use as an animal, and the women are the more susceptible to that, because they just follow orders by the power, as they are, as they have engraved in their instincts. That's explain fucking everything. And now we can talk later in other videos about what are the specific instincts, social instincts that the woman have and the men have, and that will lead you to understand a little bit more on how the society has become this shit that it has become, that this is right now. But at least I want you to have understand how everything works and how everyone is screwed on the mind, have traumas. Those traumas doesn't let them to solve them, but it tell them, the society tells us how to alleviate our pain of our traumas. And the fucking people do that without even thinking about it, and never satisfy their traumas, their needs that created the traumas, never alleviate the pain that created the traumas, and they are acting by their own pain, an excruciating pain that never are aware of, and that by itself make them to be very extremely egotistical, because naturally with that much amount of pain, naturally their mind can't allow to think about others, only as a tool to alleviate their own pain, but for nothing more. And this is the cruelty of the society that we live on. Okay, that's it, guys. If you have something to tell me, if you have questions, if I'm not explaining well, just leave a question in the comment section and we'll answer you. And I wanted to do this kind of videos because I want to exercise my English, because I can hear everything in English, but I can't speak English. That is the fucking problem, and I need to speak English in order to work on international companies. If I ever manage to do that, to say truth, I have already done that, but I want to do it again. But I don't know. At least my message will reach other people that if I speak on Spanish on my native language, it will not reach off. So that's why I'm making this. So thank you very much. And remember, I am from a poor country. You want to help, you have the links on the description. You can subscribe, you can spread the word. Okay, and that's it. This knowledge, if you are at this point, this knowledge, you will not find it anywhere, sorry. You will not find it anywhere. I'm making it by my experience and my knowledge that I have as a psychologist, and experienced at the time that I had when I was attending people. Right now I'm more focused on the programmation, and I'm a software developer and gaming developer, but I had that knowledge, and I feel that if I don't share it, I will be doing something unforgivable to the humanity, because this knowledge is very important one. It can help the people really. Okay, thank you very much for all your time. Have a nice day. See you later, and I wish you be well. See ya. Has spoken Zero from Neurosystemias/Neurotrollium. You can find more on Memekistan, but that page is on Spanish, and those videos are on Spanish. I will try to make a section on English, only for the videos that I will start to make on English. Thank you very much, and have a nice time.